And welcome back to Houston Newsmakers. We're talking with Luis Guajardo, who is with the Kinder Institute for Urban Research. We left off as talking about the report, the 2020 housing report. One of them areas talked about economic segregation. And I'll tell you why that seemed concerning to me, because I remember a time when de facto segregation was a big part of a real blight on this country. Right. Are we starting to see that, or has that never gone away?
The impact of that segregation is still with us.
Okay.
I mean, it has an effect, and it specifically in generational wealth, right? A lot of the home ownership opportunities that were created in the early 20th century, they weren't equal, and they went to, obviously they didn't go to black and brown families, and what that has done, when you think about housing as the nest egg, it's been what has created generational wealth in America, and it's been disproportionately has left out black and brown families. You can see the generational wealth numbers at about $180,000 of assets for white families and about $20,000 for black families. And so those differences are driven by the home ownership opportunities that were created over about 100 years ago with the New Deal. And
it's still there. I mean, it's there now. Yeah. As a problem, as a result.
It's a consequence that we have never dealt with, right? And so because we've never dealt with it, our housing system has problems within it that it's been dragging for decades.
Mm-hmm. Good to know. Flooding in Houston seems like they go together sometimes. And it's short-term, long-term problems. Importantly, the purposes of our discussion this morning, the long-term impacts, which is something addressed in this year's 2021 State of the Housing Report. Talk about what issues are really exponentially impacted because of the flooding that we experience in the Houston area.
Yeah, this is a big topic when it comes to our ability as a community to be able to be, to be able to live. But housing is shelter. It's our place where we seek refuge from the elements, where we catch a break. And so flooding is a very real threat. There's over $30 billion of assessed property in the floodplains, which is about 1/5 of the county's total appraised value. That's a lot of home equity that people have built into building that nest egg, right? That I was talking about.
In a floodplain.
In a floodplain. And so when we think about the next storm coming in, it threatens not only the very primal livelihood of you and survival, right? Like, it affects your immediate, survival, but it also affects your long-term life, right? It may, if your home is severely damaged, and depending on what happens with property values in the future, it may diminish the wealth generation. You may be underwater as well. So there's a lot of problems around this topic that I think we need to grapple with.
So we have a minute left. Ask you really quickly, what do you hope will happen as a result of this report, and how leaders will use it to actually come up with some solutions to these problems?
What we look to do with these reports is really put the facts out there, talk about it, and make sure that we as a community are aware of what we're seeing. We're trying to connect the dots between a lot of different desperate parts here. Mm-hmm. And so these are very complex problems to solve. If they were easy, they would have been solved already. And so I think it really entails that we bring the best part of ourselves, each of us, right? And so what we can do at the Kinder Institute is do the research, provide the numbers, provide the information to the community. There has to be debate and discussion around this, how you solve these problems, because it's going to need local champions and support, but it needs state and federal intervention too.
Well, I think it's a fascinating conversation. I'm glad you were able to come in. Hopefully it stimulates some conversation in your house as well. Thank you for being with me. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, Cambro. Thank you so much.
Thank you.